keeps... Oh man, we go with the legs again. Jesus Christ, Liza. Sorry. Hello. It's like I need somebody going, 5, 4, 3, you're on. Come on. Just two kind of philosophical things I was thinking about. One, the phrase popped into my head, let your freak flag fly. Which I think is very good advice and not always easy to follow. That kind of liberation. And the other thing I was thinking is we're moving into Aries soon, which is the Emperor in the Major Arcana. It's a very active, purposeful, forward-moving springtime, coming back to life force energy. So I don't know if this is a reading for Aries, or you might know an Aries, or it might just, again, correspond to that, to your own sense of coming into your own. I had the little dream doll, which is perhaps relevant. Okay, but we're coming out of this sort of dreamy time into the more conscious, purposeful, awake, creative. It's putting the dreams into action, maybe. Coming into Aries time. Very much spring, it's life force. It's put the dreams into action. With the dream dolls, it's so tiny you probably can't see it at all. But they're little people. I think they're Guatemalan, and the idea is you, tell it your dream, and then put it under your pillow. It's sort of, and aren't you supposed to put wedding cake under your pillow too? I'd rather put the dream doll. No, at Christmas time I put them in the creche. Often they're the baby in the manger. And this deck too got my beloved cat, who you've seen a lot of. I'm just gonna swirl this around a little. Occasionally knocks things over, and it may have been me. I honestly can't remember, but I'm gonna blame her. So this got, it was brand new, and it just got hit with water big time, and all of the ones dried out, basically, except for like one or two. And I know which ones they are. I don't think it's going to make a difference. But I saw it as being a kind of some kind of a baptism, some kind of a blessing to the water. I don't know. You can look at, anything that way, and I'm not sure it hurts to sort of see it through. Even the mishaps are blessings. And that, I believe, what's out of our control. First card out. Oh, dearie me, 9 of Swords. This is a pained mental energy where you're being like tortured by your own thoughts. Swords, air sign, thoughts. And in this case, like obsessive thoughts. That it's just, it's the repetition, 9 swords. This bad thought leads to that, bad thought leads to that. It's like a bouquet of mental stress. Really? That sort of surprised me. Can you tell us about what is this 9 of Swords? You're almost wrapping up the cycle, but boy, somebody is very stressed out. Why the stress? It's spring, it's Aries season, it's the time to do something about it. Well, this is what you do about it. Six of Swords. It's a card of moving on. And here it depicts like a father and son. You know, gender, whatever. And the child is looking back. But they're still on the land in this depiction, but they're headed for the water fairly quickly. And the child is sort of looking over his shoulder and like giving a little see ya. And it may be hard to let go. You know, there's a backward glance to moving forward from, you know, the pain. Because it's been going on a long time. It seems to me there are 9, you know, there are 9 swords. It took a while. You're a pincushion. But you're moving on. And there's a little bit of nostalgia. Like maybe you wish you could have somehow, you know, brought your own or somebody else's, calmed their mental. Because this could, okay. Oh boy, that's a big splat. But we're going to take it because two landed face up. King of Wands. That's that Aries wand energy, pushing it forward. You know, I'll advance the cause. I'll get out there and do what I can. And maybe it speaks a little bit to, it was hard. What you have to do and what you're determined to do is get away, is move on from this bad, tortured mental place. Sword energy. And in sword energy, you move into the calmer waters. And emphasis on calm. You know, it's like, this is super agitated. In King of Wands energy, this is brilliant. This is the purposeful moving forward, knowing what to do and how to do it, and apparently you're knowing how to say goodbye. Maybe to your own a state of mind that was crappy, but you'd gotten used to it. Almost nostalgia. 8 of Wands. It's a card of communication, and ordinarily it shows the 8 wands coming in, conversation or dialogue or flow or, you know, something like that coming in. In this case, it's the person carrying the wand, going from, well, leaping past the barriers. I was going to say going from the darkness into the light, but no, not really. I mean, there's a kind of thunderstorm going on in the background and lightning. It's hard to see because it's a little bit of white branching against the very dark clouds in the background. But this is the wand bearer. I mean, this is almost like Benjamin Franklin, you know, flying the kite with a key on it. They would have us believe, you know, it's sort of like Washington chopped down the cherry tree. Ben Franklin discovered electricity when he got zapped, and you know, and he was trying to, I think, prove a point. And this is somebody's willing. They're out there in the thunderstorm saying, you know, here I am. Lightning needs a feeler coming up from the ground in order to come down. It's like the Sistine Chapel, you know, the heavenly thing and the earthly thing touching fingers. It's like E.T. does something like that. But this person is just inviting the power in. Inviting it in. You know, and who would be safe enough to hold up the lightning rod? The guy with the lightning rod, you know, with the rod. I love it that it has that lightning rod connotation, because that's perfect. And it certainly would get you out of your head. It would vivify you, bring you back to life. Three of Cups. And into a connection. Into a circle of loving connection. You know, here you are in the warm place. And it's Cups energy. It's the energy of connection. And you purposefully inviting in that energy, I think, to like a jumpstart joy. That might be the title of the video. How to jumpstart joy. Well, here's more fire energy. You know, fire energy, Aries energy, all over this reading. Well, King of Wands, 8 of Wands, Knight of Wands. So there's a message coming in fast. 8 of Wands, the message coming in fast. Wands are fast energy. They're not as fast as sword energy. You know, they would tell us, but pretty fast. I mean, he's leaping. You know, it's sort of, how do you get through fire? You move. You know, like you put your finger through the flame, and it doesn't burn you as long as you're on the move. Well, this guy's on the move, and it's a life force energy. It's a well, we'll wait and see if that shows up more. But this is purposeful, fast, forward movement. It can be like a lusty energy, a lusty communication, coming in, raring to go, kind of. I mean, this guy looks like he's raring to go. You know, and so's this. I mean, there's just a lot of, and it appears to be a masculine energy. Oh, I can't believe it. Oh, good. It's 9 of Wheels. I was reading it upside down. I thought it said 9 of Wands, and I was going to fall out of my chair. This is stability. I mean, in some ways, grounding this energy, which is spontaneous, impulsive. I hear the call and I answer it, you know, quickly. It's agile, it's quick, it's moving, absolutely raring to go, on the move. And on the move also in terms of the mental, in terms of the state of mind. And weirdly, you're going into a more peaceful place by revving the engines. You're stepping into your power in some kind of you're formidable, or formidable. But you're also stable. What a combo. Virgo energy, earth energy, grounded energy. And I was just thinking, because remember, this is the lightning rod. This is sort of the ground. You know, it goes to ground, and the energy kind of dissipates. And it needs to do this. I mean, you know, if you've ever been near a lightning strike, it's a thing. So this is a nice balance. That goes up here. Nice balance. And it also might be that you're coming in kind of all fired up. Remember I said there's a lusty energy to it, and I think that that might be borne out here. To have this reunion, to meet up with. I don't know if it's back up with. Somebody who's like a grounding influence in your life. It's a card of somebody who's self-sufficient, grounded, and who sort of stays put. And I think it might be grounding you, because you're the lightning rod. You're on fire. You're all over the place in a certain way. And this is somebody who's, not that they don't have fire energy or creativity or anything like that, but they don't charge around. And I like it with the electricity metaphor we got going. They don't charge around. They bring stability to the situation. And there also is a little bit of an element of somebody, if this is, it can mean a party, a literal party, a celebration, a reunion of some kind, a gathering. And it almost looks like this guy, is crashing the party. As they're lying on the table, that's what it is. It's here's the party, and this guy's riding in. And you know, to a gathering of some kind. And maybe that's something about that gathering grounds you, or you might, another person in your life, could be an earth sign, you know, you find grounds you. This is also letting your freak flag fly. You know, it's letting it rip. You know, it's not this mistrustful, hurt place in your brain. You've shifted your mental state and kind of come into your own, because I think you're King of Wands. You're fired up. You're on the move. And you're going to communicate it. Maybe not in words. Because sword energy is word energy, and it's like something may have gone wrong when you tried to communicate in words. Eight of Wands is communication, but it's more, it's warmer, it's more passionate. You know, swords are kind of analytical. Wands are not. Tell me about this Nine of Wheels, i.e. Pentacles, coins, earth sign. What are they to you? How do you see them? What's the deal? That's interesting. You see them as Queen of Swords, who's kind of a hard ass, a little bit of a hard ass. And they might not be that, because Nine of Pentacles, Nine of Wheels is a card of somebody who nurtures themselves and other people. You know, they've got a good home base for themselves, and they're stable. But you see them as a boundary setter. You know, somebody who's so good on their own that they don't put up with your bullshit. Good. And it's interesting that the two other sword energies on the table are that Nine of Swords, that super anxiety, the Six of Swords moving on to calmer waters. Maybe by virtue of having cut somebody out and set a boundary. This is clear communication. Somebody who can communicate. And again, I asked how you, King of Wands, saw this earth sign. I mean, sharp, smart, discerning, knows who she is and knows who you are. There is that kind of, I see you. Three of Swords. Oh dear. Well, it's not, you don't think she sees you in a good light. You think, and we don't really trust how you think. You know, it's getting better, but at this point, you think that she's discerning and sets her boundaries and is no nonsense. And you may think it's because she's heartbroken. So she's put up a boundary because she sees you. It's really getting twisty. You think she sees in you the possibility of this, of heartbreak, I mean, look at her. It's anguish. And it's the same cloudy skies as this guy. It's almost like it's the same terrain. It's also like, isn't there something, I'd run through fire to get to you? Through the smoke and flame. That's an old 40s classic, but I'm sure there are other ones that sort of say the same thing. I think there's a Melissa Etheridge. Anyway, doesn't matter. And this is a little bit Eight of Swords. I mean, there are these swords, they're not piercing her heart, but they're certainly hemming her in, holding her back. He, she, they. So they see you as somebody who sets a boundary to do with pain. And I mean, good on you. Who wouldn't? Or on this other person, the Earth sign, who's acting in a very swordy way. I mean, really, I don't quite get it. Tell me about the Three of Cups. Because it's Three of Cups, union and good times. Three of Swords, not union, it's separation and it hurts. You see her as somebody who is guarded against hurt. And there has been hurt, no doubt. I thought it was on your part, but maybe not. Wow. Death, transformation, Scorpio energy. This has the skull out in the woods, but there are plants growing out of the eyeballs, the eye sockets. You know, it's life and death. It's the thing new springing from, the eyeball of the old. We'll say more about that in a minute. Gotta sort of let that sink in. But I'd say, somehow it's landing in, because the transformation card is landing on Three of Cups. I think there's some, let's keep going. Nine of Swords. Nine of Wands. Two nines. Almost finished with the cycle. And this guy's like slugging through the rain, using his wand. Well, he's not leaning on his wand. He's got it over his shoulder. But this is not yet the calmer waters, no. This is on Nine of Swords. So it's been a mental anguish and a burdensome thing that sort of sapped your life force. As it would. Because, you know, head, body, all of that, they're interwoven. And if you're in that much of stress, you know, everything becomes a schlag. It's like walking through, you know, it's just heavy, heavy energy. But the only major arcana on the board is death. So the biggest energy is a transformation. So let's see how that, I mean, to go from Nine of Wands, Nine of Swords to moving on to the calmer place. It's been hard getting there. In your own energy. It sapped your energy, King of Wands. And maybe most of all, your mental, you know, the pain of it was hard to endure. Because Nine of Wands endures it. It's the wounded warrior. But is this a wounded person yet? I mean, look. I think you've slogged your way out of it. And you're moving on from it. Can you give me one on Six of Swords, please? Magician. Also the transformation. You know, death, rebirth. And this is, you know, a kind of an alchemical transformation. And in this one, usually they're just one of each. Pentacle, sword, cup, wand. In this one, he's got the swords crossed over his head. Again, sort of the lightning rod image. You know, bringing the energy in. Putting up the feeler. I mean, that's sort of what magician does, has everything, it's an energy of having all the elements that you need to manifest. And you're putting up you're kind of suggesting I'm a conduit, you know, here it is. Hit me. And that's on Six of Swords. You're manifesting this mental, you know, you're slogging your way out of the Nine of Swords. You're moving forward, Six of Swords, to a better mental place. And in fact, into this kind of power. Into this kind of power. And it's right next to you, King of Wands. I'm just looking to see where the wands are in this. And they're almost like the spokes of the wheel. It's almost as if the wands and the pentacles are combined into one sort of mandala. But it takes you everything you've got to manifest this forward movement, because there is a sort of a slight, it's hard to move away from. You know, there's that slight, in saying goodbye, you know, there's something, I mean, here's major transformative energy, and there's a little bit of a nod to, like, it's hard to leave this. Oh no, that's way too many. I'm sorry, we're not doing that. King of Wands, please. Two Cups. I mean, 47 cards wanted to come out. Half, 3/4 of the deck. This is what popped. Very purposeful. And again, that's sort of a little bit of the, not lusty, because what you're after in your purposeful life force, you know, it's not lusty, but it's really about love. You're wanting to connect with somebody. And you're getting there. You've been very up in your head. You're moving on to a better place and literally moving step by step into this place of huge power where you're apparently manifesting your own life force in the cause of some connection. And we did have this Queen of Swords, so we have to bounce back to her. But let's get one on the communication, the Eight of Wands, the speeding up energy, the lightning rod. We have Nine of Wands, Eight of Wands, King of Wands, Knight of Wands. A lot of fire in this. Sorry. Oh, Ten of Cups. Ace of Wands. That's what I was cracking up about. Because it's on this guy. The Wand Bearer. The Lightning Rod. Also a card, again, a slightly lusty card. A life forcey card. It's not cerebral. And it's not really about, well, it is, because Two of Cups is right there, but it's a new beginning. Somebody's coming in fast, and I'd say it's you. You know, sort of through the fire, because you are the fire. And your communication is about, let's go. Eight of Wands, Ace of Wands, ends up to be the Nine of Wands. So it's like, I've done this. I've slogged in here for this new beginning. It matters to me. I'm passionate about it. I've been up in my head at one point and mistrustful, moved on from that. And I've manifested this forward movement into myself, King of Wands. And it looks like wanting to communicate with somebody about this connection. That's what you want. We just got this the other day. Ten of Cups would go on Knight of Wands. So you're coming in fast. I mean, this isn't, you're not coming in to play and split. This is a huge investment. This is like going the distance, you know, which is interesting for this guy who can be a bit of a player. I mean, there is usually a bit of that energy. Like, I'll come in, I'll go out. I'll come in, well, no. I'm coming in with a message, a passionate message that this is what I'm after. Two of Cups, Ten of Pentacles is like, it's not a dreamy energy. It's super grounded, and in fact, it's right next to this other Earth energy, Nine of Pentacles. Something's happened that's changed that's inspired you and sent you fast in a direction. And it's, oh, I'm sorry, it's not Ten of Pentacles, it's Ten of Cups. Well, okay. It's the big love. Big Fat Love, I think, was a song too. Big Fat Love. And this is sort of the wife. That's why I guess I saw it as Ten of Pentacles. Is it's got the growth in the background and the skirt, but the pattern on the skirt is cups. But it's similar in that it's the husband, the wife, and the baby. It's a big offer. It's a big message. And this is starting to look like the content of the message. Or the you know, the reason for the life force energy coming, zooming in. Tell us about Nine of Wheels. This is the ground, the grounding person. Okay. It's somebody you had a contention with. And that's why I think you think that they've, you know, there's that, you think they think that this is going to be a heartbreak. Well, it was a struggle. There was a struggle. But in this card too, it's clearly not a, it's, they're laughing. You know, it's not a, some Five of Wands, it indicates like a real internal or external. This is more like shenanigans. This is play that works something out. And Page of Wands. You know, if you add these two together, you get Six of Wands. You know, if you add to this sort of melee, this page that says, this is the way, you know, we could go this way. And two out of these five people look a little like they're having less of a good time. But nobody's getting beaten up. You're making some kind of proposal to this person. I mean, you care a great, you know, you've slogged through the mud, the mental anguish, the fire, you know, you've gone a few rounds with this person. You think that they're putting a boundary against you because you've hurt them like this. But I think it's sort of like you're saying, let's try this again. You know, we can work it out. Geez, I wish it was a little sharper focus, and it isn't to me. So let's just peek at the bottom. Emperor. You know, I started this off saying Emperor, Aries. It's this fire energy person. It's this King of Wands. I mean, listen, whatever you're trying to do, whatever it is you're proposing, and this is also a card of practice. Let's, you know, we're not going to get it right off the bat. This is new, Ace of Wands. We're going to have to practice this business. you know, things things are gonna work out. You're on the board, fire sign, as all the kings, all the energies of all the strata of action-taking energy. You know, this fiery, purposeful king. But it seems to me the transformation is into Cups energy, is into joy and connection. And are you willing to work to get there? Absolutely. It looks like to correct some crappy sword energy. And somebody may have like called you on something. And this could be like establishing the boundary, not through, you know, a force per se, but through, we'll do it until we get it right, something like that. Well, you're getting it right. You're getting it right in this season. And there's a shift coming up, and I can't remember the exact date. I think it's the 24th. We go into Aries. You know, get ready, because you're game on. I mean, and you know, you don't have to be an Aries. You don't need to be dealing with either an air sign, Queen of Swords, or a earth sign, Nine of Pentacles. It's the energies that you're showing up in, and you are showing up as a fiery, in control, magnificent. You know, you're magnificent. And you're gaining the confidence. I mean, that's Aries is supremely confident, as is King of Wands. You're confident. And, you know, this is about the transformation of a connection. I think you've undergone a major transformation where you come out of the anxious state by your own efforts, the wounded warrior, into this power place of manifestation. Go, man, go. You've got everything covered from Page to Emperor. All aligned in that energy. I mean, and you're kind of a lightning rod. But you're, you know, it isn't just this person who's the ground. You're the ground. Emperor is supreme stability. So we have 9 of Wands, 9 of Swords, and 9 of Pentacles. And you could say this is all about you and some kind of internal struggle, except that this is yelling at me. The union. And you're coming in for the big fat love, and you're you know, the abundant. There's a song called Big Fat Love. Blame John Prine. You're supercharged. Beep, the lightning. You know, you're supercharged. With a good, lovely dose of grounded, of stability. The stability that's able to tolerate instability, you know, this sort of jousting energy. And it's in your element. So you like that. You sort of like the struggle. But you don't want to be cut off. You don't want to be cut off. And you're pretty determined about that. And there's been a big shift for you, and we don't really see what that is, except it's sort of not up in your head. It's not up in your head. And it's kind of like you're protected by the energy of Queen of Swords. Yeah. Okay, coming into Aries, it looks like for Aries, and everybody who's rocking that purposeful, forward-moving, I'm not afraid energy. Talk to you soon. Rock on.